The New York Times story also points out that neighbors were so alarmed by it that they took photos of it. And I'm just wondering, why did it take 7 years, 7 years for this story to come out? But let's move on and talk about what I think is another affront, a little lower on the outrage scale, but still. And this has to do with the cavalcade of MAGA Republicans trooping up to New York City to sit in that Manhattan courtroom to, sit behind Donald Trump. One of them was Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida, and he tweeted out, and we're going to put it up on the screen. There on the screen, you see Matt Gaetz in the background, Donald Trump and his lawyer, fuzzy, because it's like portrait mode, focused in on Matt Gaetz. But what the tweet says is standing back and standing by Mr. President. Give him credit for his excellent grammar. But this language is exactly what Trump signaled to the Proud Boys in 2020 during that debate. And several of their leaders have been convicted on charges related to the January 6th assault on the Capitol. What do you think Matt Gaetz is signaling here, Jennifer?
Well, obviously, he's identifying with the people that Trump now calls hostages. And this is an outrage. We have gotten so used to outrageous things that sometimes we get numb. But understand, first of all, the little cult going on where they're all dressed just like Trump in blue suits and red ties. And they are going up, to give moral support in a case in which Donald Trump is accused of paying hush money to a porn star to cover up sex shortly after his wife gave birth, so the American people don't get a full picture of what Donald Trump really is in the 2016 election. That's the moral support that they are offering him. So question all the talk about Christian values and about family values. That's all a bunch of hooey. But more importantly, what they are doing and what Trump has consistently done is to legitimize, to stoke violence. This is an identification, a statement of identity with the Proud Boys. It is a way of identifying with Trump. And they are overtly in language and in symbols now taking up not an apology for the January 6th, but a celebration of these people. And I can't stress how symptomatic it is of fascist movements which use violence as an instrument of political power. The threat of violence, the reality of violence is something that democracy absolutely abhors. We settle our differences at the ballot box and in the halls of Congress and through debate and through the legal system. But violence should never be on the table. And for Republicans, they have tried to normalize it. And this is one of the real outrages of the current Republican Party and why this election is like no other. We are not seeing two normal political parties. We are seeing one that has taken a turn towards fascism, towards normalization of violence, and another that is an ordinary American political party. So I don't know whether this has fully permeated the electorate, but it should, because it is absolutely a turning point and an inflection point for American democracy.